A very good Saturday morning to you, and a very happy 4th of July to those of you in the US. I don't know whether you'll be watching this today. I'm far too sure you'll be too busy barbecuing, celebrating and whatever else you do on this day in your history. Obviously where you celebrate the kicking out of those tyrannical English, those English. So I'm not too sure whether my chance will be blackballed today, but we'll wait and see, eh? Secondly, just a little bit of a point that was asked by one of my subscribers, Purple Haze, that I start to utilise a wider camera angle, as it were, so you could see more of the nonsense in the background, you know, scratching my bum and picking my nose and drinking a cup of tea and that kind of thing. You may have seen your fella a few times in my background over there, you know, him. Interesting one, this. I'm assuming everybody knows what that is. It is a phrenology head. Phrenology is the science, pseudoscience, made famous by Mr. Foster, which he supposed that lumps and bumps and dints on your skull represent different character traits. And it's quite an interesting thing. Not that I subscribe to his beliefs, but I've always liked a phrenology head, and it was bought as a gift for me by my beloved a few years ago. Now, something I've noticed, to be perfectly honest, in a lot of American dramas, of which I watch a number, on things like Sky Atlantic and Sky Living and that kind of thing here in the UK. They are usually either showcase productions or HBO, things like that. If you have anybody, and if you watch, you know, Elementary and CSI and all that kind of thing, if you're a fan of any of these programs, excuse me, where the main hero is supposedly a genius, you will find that in his office or in his home or wherever he does his genius work from, you will find a phrenology head. And I believe that the writers of said shows have now adopted the phrenology head as the universal indicator of genius. So now I've said that, and if you do watch those kind of programs, just scan the background in all these programs, and sooner or later you will find a phrenology head. House has one in House MD. I know the series is finished now, but if you see any repeats, in his office there's a phrenology head. Elementary, the American version of Sherlock with Johnny Lee Miller, has a phrenology head, and so on and so forth. Quite interesting. Have a look, and I think it's been adopted by the TV making community in the US as the universal indicator of genius. I'm not a genius, nowhere near a genius. I fall a number of IQ points below, but I own one because I want one, because my beloved bought me one, and it stays in pride of place, watching over me throughout every year that passes, and I think it's gorgeous. A little bit late in the video to say this, but I'll say it anyway. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Manchester. Absolutely glorious. White fluffy clouds, blue sky. Should be a lovely day for People's Saturday in Wimbledon today. Why is it called People's Saturday? Well, in the early days of Wimbledon, people were general public were only let in on this particular day, the middle Saturday of the tournament. Those who are of a modest income, the great unwashed and ill-educated, were allowed in to see the great and the good playing tennis, because the rest of the championships were put to one side for the great and good in society, those landed gentry and the royalty. So there you go, the Middle Saturday, People's Saturday, for people like me, the great unwashed and ill-educated, to go and see a little bit of tennis being played. Enjoy it if you enjoy tennis. I know a number of you do. A number of you been in touch regarding my query about Rafa Nadal. It's great. I've heard from obviously people in America, people in the US, and people in Australia. This little YouTube thing bringing us all together about common interests. Absolutely wonderful. So as far as the changing the point of view thing is concerned, it was kind of a response from my request about video cameras and stuff. What I'll do, I'll move the laptop around a little bit so you can get a little bit of a different aspect of where I film from. I've obviously done one in the past where I was in my bedroom, but I'll move it around a little bit so you can see what sort of thing I've got in my living room. I'm a bit of a minimalist kind of guy. I think my living room's not cluttered, as you will see in different videos, but I hope, you know, kind of this is a little bit better for you rather than being up close and personal. What I want to talk about today, after that ramble, sorry Johnny, is kind of a reply to my friend Simon Craig, who made a video about a month ago, I think, but I've only just seen it, and I don't know why I've only just seen it, but he was talking about authorised dealers, certainly Rolex authorised dealers, playing hardball, where discounts and trade-ins and that kind of thing is concerned. I could make it really short and say, absolutely Simon, I agree, thank you very much for watching, and leave your comments down below. I can underpin what he's saying there, because if you remember a few weeks back, I went watch window shopping in Chester and tried on the Polar Explorer 2, which has now whetted my appetite, as you're aware, for that particular watch. I also tried on the Sea Dweller and the Sea Dweller Deep Sea. And then I went to look around Chester even further and found the same watch, brand new, unused, unworn, new old stock, for £638 less. When I approached the Rolex dealer about this, they immediately said, no, there is no discount, there is nothing we can do, there is nothing we are willing to do. So, my view on this situation is this. Firstly, you have to understand with the Rolex company and their ADs, what you're paying for. Are you paying for the watch? Absolutely not. I think it's a fairly well-known fact that if you're buying a steel Rolex, whatever, you are probably paying for a watch that has a manufacturing cost of somewhere below £1,000, and you're paying £6,000–7,000 for the privilege. So where does that money go? Does it go in extreme materials? No, not really. 904L stainless steel compared to 316L, I've covered that. Does it go to extreme in-house movements? Well, in-house movements, yes. Extreme? Not really. Better quality bezels and fingers and better quality lume. Well, would you not expect good quality lume on a watch of that price? I assume you would. Are you looking at better service? I didn't get better service in an AD than I got in other prestige jewellers when I have been both in Chester and in Manchester. So you're not really paying for service. The service I got was nice and it was courteous and it was friendly. But then again, when a salesman is sat in front of somebody who's considering spending 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 grand, you would expect good service, I assume. So are you paying for that? No, because that should come as a standard. So what are you paying for? Well, what you're paying for is everything else. You're paying for their advertising budget, which I believe in 2012 was $10 million US. Now, advertising budget basically is adverts, articles in watch magazines, and so on and so forth. What you're also paying for is their sponsorship deals and donations of equipment to all the major yachting fraternities around the world. What you're also paying for is the posh AD shops with their marble floors and glassed cases, and the training perhaps that goes into their staff. What you're also paying for is their sponsorship of other sporting events. Rolex is and has for many years sponsored Wimbledon, so you are paying for all of that kind of thing. So that money has got to come from somewhere, and where it is coming from is from the ADs playing hardball. So what's my conclusion on this? Well, my conclusion is this, is to solve that problem, Rolex and their ADs need to be blackballed by buyers. I appreciate that's never going to happen, but it is the only way that the prices will come down. When Rolex were under threat from the quartz revolution, their prices plummeted because they saw their sales drop. So if Rolex started to see their sales drop, their prices would come down, or they would start to offer hefty discounts to get people in through the door and make those sales. What is my other conclusion? Well, my other conclusion is this, and this is one that I find fairly hard to swallow, which is, if it is the case that they are really playing hardball, which it appears they are, do they not want ordinary people like you and I? Do they not want people who have or will be saving up their hard-earned cash, as I am doing at the moment? I'm saving drastically to obtain the present to myself. Do they not want the normal man in the street? Do they want their brand to carry on appearing so exclusive that we, Joe Public, should not be able to wear them? Is that what it is? Is it that they don't offer discount because they are happy through gritted teeth to sell to Joe Public, but only on credit? Because then they've got us, you know. They'll say it's interest free, of course, but you know, the interest is actually built into the profit margin that they're making on the watch. So is that another option? Or is the third option, which I believe is the most distasteful of them all, is it that they want to maintain exclusivity and they only want the great and the good and the landed gentry and the royals and the show business personalities to wear their high profile brands? Is that what it is? So they are squeezing us, the normal Rolex punter, as it were, so that we can no longer negotiate any form of deal which will make our lives easier. What they do want, they want their people who go in there with their American Express no credit limit card to buy their product and wear it proudly on their wrist. Is that what they want to do? That they want to wheedle out the normal man on the street and send them packing to buy their Seiko or their Tissot or their Oris, because they don't want to sell us their beautiful Rolex product. I think there's a few bits to chew on there. The first one, to blackball Rolex, I appreciate is unrealistic, but is there any way we can put pressure on Rolex or any other prestige brand that are doing this? If you think there is, let us know, and maybe as a watch community, maybe we can get together and kind of do this. But I know it would have to be worldwide. I appreciate that, but my view is, as long as Rolex or anybody out there who feel that they have control of the market feel that they can do this, if people don't protest, they will carry on doing it. It's an interesting one. I do agree fully, Simon. It is appalling, absolutely appalling, especially when you're referring to the part exchange value of that. I think it was a date just. Absolutely dreadful. You know, they will rip you off right royally and then not want to give you anything back when they've assured you right at day one, don't worry, Mr. Smith, your Rolex solid gold date just will maintain its value. You don't worry about that at all. You'll get better return, I am convinced, scrap, just for the gold. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. It is an appalling state of affairs, but I do believe, as consumers, it's kind of our fault. We've allowed Rolex to get to this stage of such self-satisfaction and self-congratulation that they are the best that you can possibly wear on your wrist, that they feel that they can turn us round and give us the good seeing to that they feel is necessary. So I think that's it for this one. Full agreement, Simon. I've put in my 2 penneth. Let me know what you think about this. Everybody else, let me know what you think about this. It is appalling. Do we walk away from Rolex? I'm sure this video is not going to have any influence on that. People are still going to wander into Rolex ADs. Maybe, just maybe, we should all start considering either pre-owned all the time or grey dealers. You know, I went round the corner from the Rolex AD and found the same watch, new old stock, with all the stickers, all the cards, everything, for £635 less. Literally round the corner. So it's doable, you know. So let's turn the tables on Rolex. Let me have your ideas. See what you think we, as normal people who work hard for a living or have worked hard for a living, can do to turn those tables. Anyway, that's it for this one. A little bit of a ramble here, there and everywhere. If this is your first time here and you're thinking, that's quite interesting this, have a look at my old stuff, and if you're liking it still, feel free to subscribe. It will be great to see you in the list, and I will drop you a welcome message as soon as I see your name. Any questions, any queries, any suggestions about this nonsense, as always, down below. Anyway, that's it. I've got a couple of jobs to do today. Going to order a new pair of prescription sunglasses today. So that will be quite nice. It's a long time since I've had prescription sunglasses. Usually wear a wide-brimmed hat when I go out. Great tip, buy yourself a Panama, really good for sunny weather. So that's it. I shall leave you in peace. If you are watching tennis today, enjoy. I will be recording it on Sky Plus, and I will be watching it later on when I return, so I'll have to try and avoid any news reports of results. And if you're having a 4th of July bash today, have a hot dog for me and a beer. I shall speak to you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.